Well, let's let's just look into each other's eyes longingly.
Oh, you know I love looking in your eyes. The Eye of Sauron.
My booty hole?
I just love, just taking a peek sometimes, staring lovingly at it, and not doing
You take
anything.
a peek, you take a sniff, and you see what's up.
Always got to make sure it passes the smell test.
The smell test. The smell test. Smell test.
I mean, I always do the smell test, at least with my milk, because if you don't do the smell test and you accidentally pour spoiled milk into your mac and cheese, then it's just gonna taste terrible. I've done it before. That's why it's a very specific instance.
Milk into your mac and cheese? Wait, are you using the dry powder?
Oh yeah, if you use the dry powder, you have to add milk to it.
Well, who's using the dry powder?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
As someone who's very particular about their mac and cheese, Kraft Mac and Cheese makes the deluxe box with the liquid cheese. That's all you need. That is the superior form of mac and cheese. Unless you're making a roux and making your own cheese sauce, which is, a whole other thing. But if you have to choose between powdered cheese and the liquid cheese that comes in the packet, there's no contest. Blue box mac and cheese with powdered cheese is a guilty pleasure of mine. Well, Sheeb, I'm sorry to say, but powdered cheese is not my thing.
Wow. Well, I would just like to say, if you are listening to this on the podcast page, we are currently live on Twitch, at our Twitch, What Do the Gamers Think? Spelled Gaymers. So we have the chat going. We might be answering some chat questions along the way. This is actually our 100th podcast episode, Pat. How are you feeling?
Take your top off! Woo!
What?
I've told Matt this before. I thought we had already reached 100.
Yeah, because you didn't do the math.
News.
You did not do the math correctly, Pat. I'm sorry.
Well, that's why I have you, because you're a math major and I'm not. I was a math minor.
No, I just know how to count.
I do not, which is why I have you.
ShibAmazing in the chat says, congratulations on 100. 100 years. No, 100 episodes.
100 episodes of these two fairies opening their mouths. Fairies! Fairy godparents!
Imagine 100 years. Jesus. 100 years of podcasting. I think I'd jump off a bridge. I don't know.
I don't even want 100 years on this planet, let alone doing something.
Well, we're not going to have 100 years on this planet, dearest. We're probably going to die in, the heat death of the world.
Well, 20 years from now, we're going to have that asteroid on Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah. I hope it hits us.
Well, there's like a 1 in 600 chance it's a problem?
It's like 1 in 4,000 or something like that.
Those are some good odds.
Amazing. Incredible. What are you eating? This is our 100th episode of the podcast. What are you doing?
Well, first of all, we're waiting for Jackie, so everyone chill out. Second of all, I didn't get dinner. I had a really bad day at work. Even Radhika's right there. Radhika's in the chat, supporting me when I need it most.
Oh, she said you did too much today. The poor man did too much.
It was a lot, but it's over now. Now we get to be here. You've got shooters in the bushes. Exactly.
All right, well, let's do our intro. So, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another lovely episode of the What Do the Gays Think podcast, the 100th episode. I am Matt Klubeck, and today with me I have my 100th booty hole, Pat. How are you doing, Pat?
Okay. Between the two of us, I'm the one who probably has had 100 booty holes, if I had to guess. Actually, I don't think it's been 100, but I'd be closer to 100. I'm reeling from the roller coaster that was today.
Right.
I have motion sickness. Oh, you want to? Okay. I got in a little later. I started doing one thing, and then I realized there was a symposium today. So I had to... Radhika's asking when you got those lights.
Oh, I got them for Christmas. They've been up for probably like a couple months. Anyway, tell me about your symposium.
So I only wanted to go to one section, the pathology section, because I'm a apparently I'm not a pathologist, but I'd like to be one.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna go to that one, but then they were like, "Oh, you have to clean up after." Now, I thought cleaning up meant just removing the posters and the easels, but now it was like you have to deal with that, plus get rid of all the food, plus take all these boxes and put them back in storage. And I couldn't do that immediately right after it ended because people were still like lounging, looking at posters, blah, 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 blah. And it was a lot. And then I had to rush here. I got home and put down everything. I ran downstairs to my office, turned on my computer, and then we almost were at start time. And look who it is,
And
ladies and
look
gentlemen,
who's made
theys
it.
and thems. Please welcome to the stage the enigmatic Edith Puthy.
What?
Hey, everybody.
Wow.
Believe it.
Edith Puthy.
Edith Pussy
Edith Puthy is in the chat.
and the
Oh,
stream.
Hello,
Sheep
Jackie.
says, I finally get to say the things I'm thinking during the podcast rather than having to wait until way later to send you messages on Discord.
True.
And
It's
Radhika
true.
goes, Edith?
Edith Puthy!
Edith!
Okay, well, I guess Jackie can introduce themselves now because I just did my little thing.
Oh, no, I have to, like, reintroduce myself?
No, wait, I got this. Today with me, I also have Jackie, my 100th squirt.
You know, I suddenly
knew.
remembered I
He
have
knew.
anywhere else to be. Whoops, you
See, that is evidence. That is evidence enough that Matt and I spent too much time together.
Much time together. Way too much time.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh,
Sheep
she
says we all look amazing today. Thank you.
Oh, ooh, Jackie needs to be in Maine.
Who said that?
Radhika.
Radhika.
Oh God.
Oh, Jackie, how was your day today? Welcome to the 100th episode of the podcast.
You know, girl, I'm so excited to be here. Can you believe 100 years old?
That's what I said before.
We just made this
Did
joke.
you really?
Evidence that you and Matt spent too much time together.
Truly.
Oh my god, just said that before. That's hilarious.
Oh my god, damn it.
Then
But
we-
yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, and then we made the joke like, oh, we don't want to be here for 100 years. We're going to die in 20 years due to the asteroid. No.
I mean, maybe sooner if this economic collapse happens, mama.
Oh,
Fingers crossed.
Economic collapse.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe we'll talk about it. This is a podcast where we sometimes talk about like things that are happening in current events.
Yeah. Matt, how are you?
I had another therapy appointment today. I'm getting an
Lovely.
increased dosage in my meds.
Lovely.
So I'm pretty excited to see what happens there. I haven't been to the pharmacy yet though, so
Well, at least
Well.
this time the pickup process will be quicker.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I would just call and be like, listen, it's the same medicine, just a
It's
larger
coming in.
dose. Are you gonna
Coming
fuck
in.
with me, Barbara?
Okay. You wanna fuck me, Barbara?
And you hang up the phone. Sheeb says, can anyone really spend too much time with any of y'all? I know I can't. Radhika says, I want you to know that whenever Shivam or I mention Maine, we both go, I bet Jackie would know.
Oh my god.
But how
Okay.
often are you mentioning Maine that would happen a lot?
Apparently.
Sheeb, you are wrong. You should come out with us one night, and I guarantee you, within an hour, you would probably
An
leave.
hour.
Done. I need to get
Probably
out of
leave.
here.
Just be like, you know what, I need to go. Yeah, Maine. You know, like once every couple months. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
So I just, before we get into this, I just wanted to put out a quick reminder to everybody that the three of us here actually have a separate podcast called Under Queer Review, where we review the latest and greatest in queer media, or the not so latest and not so greatest in queer media. And we are not posting them in the actual, like, What Do the Gays Think podcast anymore. It has its own separate podcast section. So you have to look up Under Queer Review and give that one a follow as well if you want to get the notifications when those episodes come out. They're also on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts, wherever you download podcasts. But you have to go. It is a separate thing now. Yes, Radhika, it is a separate podcast. So I just wanted to remind everybody to go and look it up. We did a recent one on Love, Simon, which was a really funny one. I just re-listened to it. And I love
It's
it.
good. It's good. To just give a little teaser, Jackie says something. I'm not gonna say what. No.
Okay.
I'm just saying Jackie misinterpreted what was going to
cues.
happen,
Yeah,
which
in
was
the movie.
fine. And it was very funny, the misinterpretation. Not because the context was funny, but just the
Yeah.
dramatic shift from what did happen and what Jackie thought was going to happen.
Yes.
That was funny.
When you listen to it, I'm not laughing at the concept, what I thought would happen, but just how badly I misread what was happening.
Yes. You didn't have your glasses on.
No, I did.
Oh.
I did.
Jackie always has the glasses on.
I always, because I can't see without them. Like this. I can't see you right now.
Thank God, because I'm looking
Beautiful.
Morticia Adams.
Morticia. She
Katrina.
Katrina. I would love to hang with y'all for one night, me and my busted ass hips. Sheeb, I think between all of us, we probably can cover all the busted joints. So
I mean, my hole's busted, so.
when is it not?
Is that a joint? Is your asshole a joint?
No, but men like to put their mouth on it like a joint.
And blowing, you know.
Patrick's busted back.
My back,
knees.
oh my God, my back does hurt today because Radhika saw me. I lifted this box and held it rather precariously for quite some time.
Why?
We were moving it. I had to move it.
Why?
Well, you weren't here for the beginning of the pod because you were late, so I guess you're never gonna know.
Guess I'll never know.
I had to move stuff because we had to take down like poster boards and easels for
Why?
this.
Jackie.
Let's move on to the first part of our podcast for the 100th time.
Should we spill the tea?
Actually, it's not the 100th time because we actually developed these segments later on, but we're gonna say it's the 100th for fun.
Oh yeah. But we could spill the tea, our social cultural section where we talk about things that are going on in the pop culture space. We saw Scream 6, or at least me and Pat did.
Yeah.
Jackie, are you gonna watch this movie?
Oh, good God, no.
But you already talked about it with Jackie.
Yeah, you guys told me spoilers.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I was like,
Okay,
rain on
those
me.
in the chat.
Rain on me,
Those in the
tsunami.
chat. If you don't want to be spoiled, I'm gonna have you mute, and I'm going to give a signal when we're done, and then you can unmute. The signal will be holding up the Coke can.
Okay.
You could also write. One of us could.
We
write
could also
that.
write in the chat, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, technology is
technology
advanced a
exists.
certain way, so we'll let you
Yeah.
know. But if not, then please listen. So
Look for
let's.
the Coke can.
My Coke can. Have you ever met a man who describes his penis as like a Coke can or a beer bottle or a beer can rather?
Why is it so thick?
Exactly. That's what
short.
men will describe it as. Beer can.
No.
No,
I
not
don't
a short
believe
one.
that.
Like a beer can, like a 24 ounce.
Oh, like a tall boy.
Yeah, tall boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thick and tall.
Okay.
It still
Anyway-
seems a little bit too thick, though. Anyway, Scream 6.
It is. Scream 6. Screaming again.
Screaming multiple times.
Yeah, let's get the elephant out of the way. Nev Campbell, Sidney Prescott is not in the film because of she wanted more
Who's
money
that?
and okay. Nev Campbell plays Sidney Prescott in every film. She was the main character. I would say for 4 of the films, really. And then she wanted more money because she's the face of the series. They couldn't get a negotiation done. She's on it. Now, in the film, she's still alive, thankfully,
They mention her, yeah.
getting her happy ending. But people are kind of hopeful that she might come back for 7 if negotiations and a 7th film is made. So now that that's out of the way, Matt, tell me what you thought about Scream 6, honey.
I thought it was really good. And as the things were playing out, because I did see Scream 5 as well, but I didn't remember it very well. But as they were like explaining things and playing it back, I was like, oh yeah, like I remember that happening. Like it rejigged my memory a little bit on what happened in Scream 5. Oh God. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but Axel just started barking a lot.
Oh, that's Axel. I thought it was Kai.
Oh no, it's Axel. That is 100% Axel. Yeah.
Oh, that is a deep bark. I'm gonna close the door. That is a very deep bark. But yeah, now they're both barking. Jesus.
Just go on.
The door did nothing.
It's fine.
It didn't help at all.
No one cares. No one's gonna care, Mama.
Yeah, we're fine.
All right. I might go fix this because they are being very loud.
How about this? You go.
Yeah.
I'll stall.
Okay. Stall for me. Stall for me.
So, Jackie,
Yes, Mama.
this film. Have you seen any Scream films?
I don't think I have. No.
Okay, well, this is the general process that happens. guy in a ghost face mask and black outfit.
Ghostface killer.
Ghost
not
face
happy
killer,
face,
not
as
happy face.
Matt thinks.
So one or multiple killers, depending on the film, go around straight up killing people.
Why?
Well, here's the thing. In most of the film, in all the films, it's basically related to Sidney Prescott, except for like the most recent film.
Oh.
And in the first film, Sidney's mom basically kind of broke up a marriage, and the son was pissed.
Homewrecker.
So the son got his best friend and said, "We're gonna go around killing people." So every film is kind of like related, and it branches off, and it always comes back to like Sidney Prescott and like things that happened in the previous films. But the great thing about this series is that it's a commentary on slasher horror films in general. So the film is meta in that it always comments on slasher genres, horror films, final girls, the tropes you see in horror films. So that's why the film really was successful, because it was something that was horror film but spoke about other horror films at the time. And yep.
I was just going to ask, what is a final girl trope? What is that?
Final girls. The final girl trope is literally the last girl standing that survives a horror film. And I love final girl films. I mean, Sidney Prescott's a final girl. Ellen Ripley in Alien is the final girl.
Oh, okay.
Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween is the final girl.
Okay.
That bitch in the first Friday the 13th movie, she's the final girl.
Okay.
And isn't it surprising? I've always said this. Isn't it surprising how horror and sci-fi love to make empowered women that live?
Yes.
But in other genres, you don't see that. But in horror and
Right.
sci-fi, which are the most divorced from reality because there's some fantastical element to them, that's where the women get to thrive, but not in like real genre film.
That is so thought-provoking.
It is very
love
interesting.
That they are the most divorced from reality. Wow.
Like Ellen Ripley in Alien, Sigourney Weaver survives and kicks the alien's ass, but she's a woman. Multiple movies, but of course she's a woman. But of course, in this futuristic reality, she's able to survive, have her own autonomy, and be successful. However, you know, some bitch in some like gangster genre film is just the mob wife who doesn't really get much airtime or is killed off. You know, it's very. I like horror and sci-fi. I think that's why gay men, gay people, queer people like horror and sci-fi, because they allow people on the fringe the spotlight, women particularly.
That's a really interesting point.
And queer people often do survive. There's a trope in Scream 4 that he's like, "I'm gay, you can't kill me." Because that's a trope that gay people normally do survive the films, or they're killed off for, you know, comedic effect.
Interesting.
Wow. I wonder if the reason for that is because when you're like watching a horror film, I guess it's pretty important that the main character has a lot of emotional
range.
What?
Emotional range.
Emotional range, yeah, like being able to express like sadness, fear, and all of that, and perhaps like having a man as the lead doesn't give you as much emotional range. So I wonder if that could be the reason.
I think it's also the woman being in danger is something that I think audiences are drawn to, the male audience in particular, like a woman under threat, which is something that is very common in society, that maybe people are kind of drawn to seeing that, especially when the monster or the villain personifies some element of society. So like Halloween is like, you know, like a predator basically, like preying on these young women. So it's not sexual, but there's like an underlying sexual tension there. Also in Nightmare on Elm Street, he's also like a sexual predator. So it's having a woman be the victim, or at least throughout the entire film, she is hunted, that kind of thing.
It makes it easier to kind of root for the character.
Yeah, that too.
Want them to succeed. That's interesting. I wonder why. That's a really interesting point about horror and sci-fi, because I feel like in fantasy you see the opposite. Like fantasy movies and fantasy genres, you see the opposite. Damn. Fantasy needs to get on board.
Fantasy writers are I feel like notoriously more misogynistic in their writing.
Oh, Radhika's going on a date. Have fun, Radhika.
Have fun. Tell Shivam I said hi. If it is Shivam,
Peg him.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, Radhika recently helped him out with something like a lot throughout the day, so she's earned it.
She's earned it.
She has. But yeah, I liked Scream 6. I'm just gonna say. I think I texted this to you, Pat. I thought that just not enough people die.
Yeah, a lot of the side characters dead, but the core four plus Gale Weathers did survive.
Gale.
Even the other
Kyle.
one,
Kirby.
Kirby survived as well.
Kirby?
Yeah, her name's Kirby from Scream 4, who came back for Scream
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Played by Hayden Panettiere.
Love her.
I love her too, and I'm happy she's acting again because I love her as an
That's
actor.
great.
What did you think about the killers and their motives?
I think that
Believable?
yeah, I think it is believable. In terms of like them trying to get revenge for like a family member that was killed. So that part makes sense. I think the whole them being like they kind of fed into their like brother's mental illness, it kind of felt like.
They did, yeah.
Which definitely feels like a kind of toxic family relationship. Like, why would you insist upon like feeding this obsession that he had, almost to the point of, or literally to the point of him killing people, and then going and being like, well, the person who killed him is the wrong one, as opposed to the brother being the wrong one for going and killing people. It was a little strange, but
Yeah,
I
it's
do
like
think
they're all
it's
crazy.
believable. Yeah.
I liked that it very much mirrored Scream 2. Because did you see the original Scream, like 3, 4 films?
I don't know if I did. I don't remember.
Basically, Scream 2 is it mirrors it very nicely because Scream 5 was sort of mirroring Scream 1, and now Scream 6 is mirroring Scream 2, where the killer is a parent of the previous killer that was killed off and is now seeking revenge. It takes place on a college campus, so it was very nice pairing those two films.
Wow. And then do you think Scream 7 is going to parody Scream 3?
I don't know, because Scream 3 was very meta, because Scream 3 is about, because they make the series, like in the film, they make movies about what happened in previous films.
Oh.
So in Scream 2, there is a stab series of films that's actually about what happened in Scream 1.
Yeah.
So in Scream 3, you're actually on, like, part of it takes place on the set of the film, like Stab
funny.
3, and it's super meta, and it's probably not, it's actually one of like the lower ranked ones out of the Scream film, so I don't know if they would do that again, but I hope there's a Scream 7 because I do love the series and I want Nev Campbell to come back.
Oh, yeah. They got to continue this. I got to know what happens with this girl and her relationship with her father and how she's seeing him in like the shadows everywhere. I think that's very interesting.
Oh.
She has like a delusion or hallucination of him very often.
I
Yeah.
gotta know.
I gotta
And
know.
her father is the original Scream killer. Is that the premise of
Yes.
her? Yes.
Yes, her father is one of the two from the first film that were murderers.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff.
And
Excited
she
to
doesn't
see it.
know.
No, she knows.
Oh, she knows.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
she
didn't
knows.
know at first because I think her mom hid the fact that he was the father, but she finds out at some point early on in the 5th film, I believe.
Oh.
And sees him, and he's kind of like goading her to become a killer because he's like, "Oh no, this is your blood. Like you enjoy this sort of aspect, and I want you to keep doing it." And I was like,
Damn.
"Okay."
Okay.
Sounds healthy.
Shivam wants you all to know that he matched into an ER residency. Congratulations, Shivam!
Congratulations, Shivam.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
god. Sheep said that he loves horror films but doesn't like slashers, weirdly. Why don't you like slashers, Sheep? What you got against them?
Well, maybe the blood.
Oh, they
The
can
violence.
be kind of gory. They can be kind of gory.
This film, Scream 6 and Scream 5, were definitely the more violent of the films.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Scream 1 through 3 and even 4, like there was a lot of stabbing, but it was kind of like not comedic, but it was like over the top stabbing, and it was like, oh, it's just blood everywhere. But in 5 and 6, it's like bones breaking, gunshots, throwing off of buildings, breaking of limbs. It's that kind of
Stabbed
stuff.
in the eye, stabbed in the back of the throat. Like, my god.
When she put the knife through his throat and then twisted it, I was like, so basically, this is more spoilers, but basically, the 5 and 6 deal with two sisters. Both, I think only one of them is the son or the daughter of the killer. I think it's a half sister. Is it? I think both.
I thought
Do you remember?
were they all half? No, I thought they were all biological.
Oh, then yeah, they're
siblings.
both biologically, And in 5, the older sister's more of like the protagonist protecting the younger sister. But by the end of 6, she's like, the sisters are like, oh, we're done. We're done. We're tired of this. We're killing everyone in this room. And they systematically go around and kill the killers in Scream 6, like violently. Violently go around killing these people. One girl shot in the head, other one stabbed through the throat, the other one stabbed through the eye, stabbed a billion times. Just so good. They were like back to back at one point holding bricks, and I was like, I want them to wreck these people's lives.
And they did.
The people that they killed, they were all like bad people.
Yes, they were bad.
Okay.
They were the ghost faces.
Okay.
I will say I saw a critique online and I agree with it. The one thing I didn't like about the film was there is a subplot that the main girl is being targeted online by conspiracy theories that she's actually the mastermind.
Yeah.
So basically she's being, doxxed online. She's being, like subreddit incels are like, oh my God, she's the real killer. Like she killed the guys that, that she says were killers in the previous film, whatever. I would have liked them to explore that more, especially as a woman having to defend herself from all these allegations that are untrue online that women often have to deal with, especially those when it comes to like sexual assault and violence. It would have been better if they kind of like really dug into it, but it's all right.
Yeah, I did think that was an interesting plot point, and I would have liked to see that was never even resolved. I think towards the end of the movie, like they could bring that plot point back and continue it further in the next one if they do another one.
Yeah, for sure. Sheep says, I prefer more psychological horror. Blood and gore, not really my thing. Well, did you like Hereditary and Midsummer?
Were those gory? Oh, wait, we saw Hereditary.
We saw
part of them are gory, but they are more psychological.
Oh, yeah.
Midsummer is wild.
Other thing to spill the tea about. I don't know. Did we have any more on this topic? I was going to talk about Overwatch.
No, we got to get Jackie on this. Jackie's been on the sidelines for too long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was going to just briefly mention Overwatch. Two things, actually. So first, Overwatch released a new competitive mode, Competitive Mystery Heroes. The question is it good? I personally really liked it. What did you two think of it when we played it?
No, I liked it, as I liked Mystery Heroes beforehand. I think to me what's interesting is that it kind of takes off. To me, it kind of took off the pressure of competitive, because I never knew what hero I was gonna get, and I could just be like, well, I suck at this hero, and it was fun. I really liked it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's less pressure because the game is just never going to be balanced ever.
It's never gonna go.
Yes, yeah.
It never is.
And I guess it's like it takes less pressure on you to be like, oh, I have to perform well.
Yes.
As opposed to just
calm.
like, oh yeah, it's calm, but it's like, you try your best, but the game is never gonna be balanced. So if things mess up, then there's not much you could do about it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I do like the obviously I love the mystery aspect. It doesn't feel as random as I'd like it to be, but of course, it's biased because I often find myself getting heroes I don't want, of course, because the heroes I do want are a much smaller pool compared to the whole hero roster. I get that. But I think the only thing I would change is allowing you to save more of your ult charge if you die. Like maybe not have, like if I have ult and I die, maybe not have the whole ult, but maybe 75% or something. It's like, I understand, like if you have ult as soldier and you die and you come back as Zenyatta, you have now fundamentally changed what ultimate you have and also your role and what you can do with it. So it is maybe, I don't want to say unfair because it's Mystery Heroes, it's kind of like anything goes, but you get a base back of what, 25?
25%.
If you have over 25, obviously. So maybe like 50. I don't know. Because it's like, I don't know. I would like a little bit more, maybe. Just a little.
A little bit more. A crumb. Just a
crumb.
Just a crumb of ult charge, please. A crumb.
Yeah. A quasi.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, actually. Because I think that's the same thing as if you were to switch a hero in regular competitive.
Yeah, you get 25 back, but that's it.
Yeah, but I think the fact that every time you die, you lose your ult charge, I think they probably have to... Like, it would make sense if they just upped it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Also, my second thing for Overwatch 2 is that we got some news about potentially new heroes that are coming out.
I
Yes.
didn't know.
And they're both gonna
Genuine?
Genuine.
Oh.
Genuine. I don't know who the new heroes are.
Yeah.
We don't know who they are.
Oh.
We know they're both gonna be supports. And we know they're both gonna be quote unquote cute. And that's all we
And
know.
apparently, well, I heard also that they are heroes, at least one of them, if not both, are heroes that we've already seen before, though. Like either characters from like cinematics or cutscenes, or like what is it called? Like promo art from old concept character art.
Interesting.
So I think we've seen at least one, if not both of them before. But I'm so happy that they'll both be support because I want to really round out the support cast.
Agreed. I'm so tired of support not having as many heroes.
Yeah, I'm hoping for like a tank support character.
Yes.
Like just a support that's like more meaty, has more HP, but doesn't do a huge amount of healing like at once, obviously, but has enough self-sustain that can like stay out there and be
You
there
mean like
for the
what
team.
Brig was supposed to be.
Basically Brig. Like I wouldn't
Before
mind
she
like
got
a
messed
support where it's like a little tank or like a little like mech unit that goes onto the field but can only heal when like planted. So it can't move, but it does like a
Oh.
radius heal like Lucio.
That
So
would
it
be
could go
fun.
into the field, plant, not be able to do anything except for plant itself and heal. And then when it moves, it can't unless it has like a secondary, like almost like a secondary Brig armor throw. It's basically a modified Brig.
Brig, they should have fixed Brig. They did Brig dirty. She's like my
Pat, you
favorite.
should just
hero.
join the Overwatch team and pitch this idea to them.
Well, here's the thing.
Right.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love that, but I already have so many things going on with, the baby and the kids and the dogs.
Right.
What?
The husband.
Yeah, swallowing his
I
kids.
didn't know you were having a baby.
What?
Oh.
What?
Dropping the kids off of the pool.
Right.
Oh.
Pool of acid in your stomach.
Or my rectum. Let's talk about, we have anything else about Overwatch?
No, that was it.
That was it for me for Overwatch.
Diablo 4.
Yeah.
What's that?
The beta starts tomorrow. Who?
Ooh.
So,
Jackie's
here's
like,
my
I hate this. I hate this right now.
Diablo.
So I'm gonna give this a
I'm
quick
very
rundown.
excited.
So-
Especially, I'm excited for Pat.
the early release beta that starts tomorrow, 3 characters: Barbarian, Sorcerer, Rogue. Those are actually 3 of the 4 characters from the original Diablo game, so it's super cute that they're doing that as the first for the beta. It's the first act. You can get to level 20, and they have one world boss that's going to spawn, I think, 3 times throughout the event, and you have to go there during those times and fight them with like a whole group of people.
Oh.
If you get to level 20, you get the little dog in a basket thing on the backpack, basically, and I'm so excited for it. But this is an early access beta only if you pre-purchase the game. There is, I believe, an open beta next week or the week after. It was one of those weekends where I think anyone can play.
I think it's the
and
next
earn.
weekend, March 24th to 26th.
You might not. Yeah, I think you're right, but you might not get the puppy.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just an early access bonus or if it's any beta player who gets to level 20. I'm not sure. But the other beta, when it comes out the following week, will have access to all classes, including the Necromancer and the Druid. So I am obviously partial for the Sorcerer, so I'm going to start with her, but I am going to make my way. This is what's happening. Tomorrow I have to wake up super early. I have to get to work. I'm going to work all the way till about 1:30. I'm going to come home.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get my face peeled.
I love that.
And then I'm going to come home for my face peeling. And I'm going to nuzzle?
Nestle?
Nestle?
Is it
Nuzzle.
nuzzle? No.
Nuzzle? Nestle. No, Nestle. Nestle.
Yeah, like nestle
Yeah.
myself into my office like a tick.
Ew.
I'm gonna latch onto my desk. And I'm not leaving.
I was all for this until the tick comparison came out. Now I
you ever-
will just squish you.
You ever seen an engorged tick?
Yes.
No, and I don't want to.
I woke up one day took off the covers and one was next to me. So it had been feeding all night on my body and fell off.
Oh no.
Yeah. It was
Feeding on you.
huge. It was like the size of a dime, grayed
They
out.
get
Ew.
huge.
Yeah, they get huge. Because it's blood meal, mama. It's blood
Yeah.
meal.
But
Blood
don't they
meal.
like die when that happens, or do they run away and like go?
Well, the female needs all the blood so she can lay her thousands and thousands of babies.
Yeah.
Bugs are so disgusting.
I hate tits.
Wait, tits?
I hate.
Ticks.
Oh, you
Tits.
said tits.
No, those I love.
I
Those
love
are
tits.
fun.
Except for the ones
I
on
love
your body that you
Yeah,
want to
those
lob
gotta
off.
go.
Those gotta go.
Limited edition, they gotta go.
Well, men have tits, so it's not just it's
Oh,
it's
yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
it's more of the
More the
shape.
shape.
Yeah.
Right. The
I told you we
engorged
could
fat
always
sacks.
swap.
Girl, as soon as they have that technology, I would love to donate to the
I-
needy.
I'm
and give
needy.
you. I know.
Call
Give
me
you-
Ariana Grande because I am needy.
Okay.
It's a
I know
song by
that.
Ariana Grande.
Oh, I didn't
I
know
know
that.
that
I
one.
didn't know.
For sure.
Ooh.
Big
Okay, let's
Ariana
move
Grande.
All right.
Hiyo from Disney. Thank you, engineer Anthony. Hello.
Oh, that's right. You're in Disney.
Both him and John, I think, are
Congrats.
both in Disney.
That's right.
I don't know if they
That's
just they
right.
planned like some sort of meetup or something because they had like an overlap of like
Yes.
1 or 2 days.
That's right. Yeah. Let us know if you're gonna meet up with John. Send cute pictures.
Oh, send pics, send
send
loin,
pics. Send loin. Send hole.
send nudes, send hole,
Send nudes. Do
show
whatever.
poll.
Show poll.
Okay, let's move on.
Mm-hmm,
Let's move on.
Oh, they're meeting up on Saturday. John's exploring downtown LA right now, but they're meeting up on
Cute.
Saturday. For podcast listeners, John and Anthony were actually on an episode of the What Do the Gays Think podcast. It was a long time ago at this point.
Many
while
moons,
ago.
many moons
ago. We did a Spider-Man episode.
Mm.
So go ahead and look that one up. I don't remember how long ago it was. It was like a year ago.
Look
at
at
point or
this. Look
something.
at how gay he is.
Fierce
Mm,
mama.
Fierce. Speaking of gay,
Tell me what's gay.
we are starting a new segment at the start of the 100th episode of the What Do the Gays Think. It is called Check Out These Queers.
Check out these rockin' queers.
Check out these rockin'...
Rockin' queers.
Wait, I love that. I'm going to add that to the title. Check out these rockin' queers.
I love that.
I love workshopping stuff live on
Live.
the pod.
Live. That's how we do our best work.
It's
I
true.
know. Check out these rockin' queers.
Check out
So,
these rockin' queers.
in this segment, we are going to start shouting out our favorite queer content creators, give them a little boost, show our support and appreciation for them. Because here at, What Do the Gays Think and Pride Empire, we are trying to uplift and boost all queer content and queer media. So that being said, I have a shout out for today for this podcast episode. Our shout out is for none other than our friend ShibAmazing,
Fraid?
who is currently in chat. ShibAmazing.
Sheeb. If you're still
Sheeb, we
here,
love
Sheeb,
you.
we are talking about you.
We
If
are
not,
talking about you.
we'll still be talking about you anyway.
ShibAmazing is a queer variety streamer, variety Twitch streamer, and a good friend of ours. Along with being amazing and hilarious, he focuses on mental health awareness and making sure his viewers all feel like they are in a safe space, especially those in the LGBTQ plus community. Recently, he's been playing through the Legend of Zelda games on his Twitch channel, so if you're a Zelda fan, you should definitely check him out. And if you aren't a Zelda fan, well, you should check him out anyway, because he's awesome, and he has a really cute Shiba Inu puppy, who frequently makes cameos on his streams, and I absolutely love it. So there's going to be a link to his Twitch channel in the description of the podcast episode, and I'm actually going to shout him out right now in the Twitch chat. If no one is following him, make sure to go ahead and give him a follow.
Matt said safe space, and I, for some reason, thought of Cher. I was like, I got a safe space. It's between my legs.
Of fucking course you did.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Well,
So that's my shout out. Did either of you want to shout out any queer content creators while we're here?
I think I'm going to save mine, because if we're going to do this every episode, I think we should just give the spotlight to one.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
agreed.
Sheeb absolutely deserves it.
Yes, Sheeb is a delight, a consistent delight.
Consistent delight.
Consistent delight.
Lovely
Yes.
person. Great sense of humor. Sheeb, you're a rock star. Keep
So
on doing you.
so much better than us in every way.
In many ways.
In many, many ways.
So much more. It's just supportive, funny, talented.
Looking.
person.
Yeah.
Human. But yes, that's the check out these rockin' queers.
Check out these rockin' queers. I love that.
Yeah.
I love this new title that we're workshopping here.
You have to say it like that. That's how you have to say
Yeah,
it.
check
Or
out
it's
these
illegal.
rockin'
Check out these
queers.
rockin' queers. Yeah.
Anthony's asking, did I change my webcam angle again? Potentially. I think I've angled it a little bit more downward to try to get more of me. But yeah.
Ooh, excuse me.
You angle it lower.
Yeah, I pointed it a little bit lower, so there's...
I want it lower.
Oh, right, hang on. Whoop.
Jackie wants to see the whole open face sandwich.
I want the pole.
The
in
pastrami
picture.
swamp.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not wearing pants right now, so I can't lower it any more than it's
Wait,
currently
are you
lowered.
not?
No, I'm
Then why aren't we
fully
saying
nude on right.
No, you're
waist
not.
down.
Cheeks on the leather.
Cheeks on the leather, yeah.
Yep.
You're not having cheeks in the leather.
He's lying to us.
Oh, my camera's inverted. Oh, maybe that could potentially be what you're seeing. Anyway, should we go into politics?
Well, if we have
We
to.
must.
We have a whole segment where we talk about politics. It's called Why Does Politics Suck? We could workshop any of these names, honestly. It's been 100 episodes. We could change it now if we want to.
No, I think that's a great title because it's so valid and true, and I love speaking to the truth of the situation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this bank crisis.
Girl.
Oh, yeah. So I had to ask our friend Anthony, who's in chat, about it, and he gave a lovely TLDR.
He did.
So Matt, I'm gonna have you talk about it though because I don't get it.
Oh, I also don't get it. Okay, so.
Oh, great. Okay.
Wow.
So I know a lot of things. One of the things I don't know a lot about is the economy. I really don't. Like, I've never taken an economics course. I honestly don't know anything about it. So I'm gonna try to give a brief synopsis of what I understand. What happened. So a lot of startup companies invested in this one bank called Silicon Valley. And that's basically where they keep all their like startup deposits and their startup money. And my understanding of this is that when these investors buy into these companies, it happens at a lower interest rate. But basically what happened is recently, because of inflation, they've been raising interest rates. So all these investors are actually losing money. And then a lot of people got scared and started pulling money out of the bank. And basically the bank ran out of money and collapsed, is my understanding of what happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the bonds that they had bought were basically worthless. And in the days before that the bank collapsed, they issued a statement saying that they had to raise a crazy amount of money for their assets to, cover all of their spending needs. That statement caused a panic, which caused a bank run, and I don't know the number off the top of my head, but like billions of dollars were withdrawn, which left the bank unable to operate as a bank and pay its, payroll and expenses and all that jazz.
Billions and billions.
Billions.
Anthony says the bank invested in all bonds and the bonds became worthless, so they had to sell them at a loss when everyone wanted to withdraw and basically went insolvent. Now, for chemists out there, we know that insolvent would mean that it's not a solvent.
Not solvent.
Not solvent.
So it's not in solution. Solvent is something that dissolves something else. So water is the universal solvent, and salt is the solute that dissolves in the solvent. So a little chemistry corner action for you.
Wow.
I didn't know water was the universal solvent. I didn't know that.
They call it that because a lot of things dissolve in it, yeah.
Oh. Just like how blood type O is the universal donor.
Nope.
Oh, negative, sorry.
Thank you. I was like,
I am. Aren't you
careful.
that too, Matt?
I'm O positive.
I'm O negative.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey, so Jackie and I can only swap blood with
We
each
will
other.
swap with each other, and Matt can take everything from us.
Well, Matt
I
takes
can.
everything.
I'm the universal taker, I think. Is O
No,
positive.
that's AB positive. AB positive
Oh,
is the
I'm
universal
sorry.
taker.
Never mind then.
Because if you were given anything but O
Oh.
negative or O positive, you would be unwell.
I would be
I
dead.
think my mom is that.
AB positive?
She's one of the crazy, rare ones.
I think I don't remember which is the most common.
Negative?
It's probably I think it's either AB positive or B positive is the most common one.
Oh, really?
I thought it
Matt,
was O.
Matt, universal blood
Negative.
receiver confirmed, but not for blood.
Universal receiver of cock.
Oh,
Financially,
I get
it means they can no longer pay their debts. Just like me. I'm a bank.
You're a bank.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna foreclose on my pussy, probably.
What?
So let's talk about oh wait, do you want to talk about banks more?
I just wanted to mention that because we were on the topic of banks. I
Yeah.
think that initially, like, the government said that they were going to bail the bank out, and or they were going to bail everyone who would put deposits in. They were going to bail them out. They had like this insurance fund or whatever that they were going to pull money out of.
Well, yeah, that's the just standard FDIC coverage of
Yeah.
up to $250,000.
Oh, so anyone who put in more than 250,000 is fucked.
Correct. And that's where the bailout conversation was kind of pivoting around of what to do with these people who are out of more than the coverage, because 94% of people who had money in Silicon Valley Bank had more than $250,000 of funds, money
Oh shit.
in the bank. Yep.
Oh, Jackie knows so much more about this than I do. It's
Yeah, I'm
very
surprised.
impressive.
I took an
But,
economics course many moons ago.
How
Don't
many
remember
moons?
much of it. Many.
Can you moon me?
Just cheek to cam, cheek to cam.
Cheek to cam.
Cheek to cam. We're gonna get banned. We're gonna get banned off
Yeah.
Twitch.
Let's
I
go on
mean,
Pornhub then.
Only if I
Let's-
show hole.
Which
what is-
one? Okay, so I just want to make a brief reference because we on the previous episode that I was very coherent for. I just want to
Sure.
say
Right.
I was surprisingly. Did you even listen to it, Jackie? Yeah, I thought as much. Hang your head in shame. Hang your head in shame. I was very coherent, and we were talking about drag bans. So I just wanted to make a reference that during the Oscars, when the Daniels won for Best Directing for Everything Ever All at Once, one of the Daniels said, you know, I want to thank my parents who didn't think I was weird or shut me down for dressing in drag and making like films when I was a kid doing weird shit. And then he
Aw.
said, like, drag is a threat to nobody. And just wanted to shout out that was like a nice sentiment. Obviously, there are many states that are having these drag bans go through where it is a felony to be dressed as a gender that is not the one you are labeled as. So just want to remind everyone that that's still happening because apparently I was watching or listening to a podcast. It was either Race Chaser or it was Sibling Rivalry where they were like, yeah, we're talking to straight people and they don't know that it's real. And they were saying that in conversations they were having with some straight people, the straight people were very unaware that it was actually a thing, these bans. So they aren't paying attention to that side of the news. So I think it's imperative for us in the queer community to remember that our bubble of queer knowledge and news sometimes does not permeate the bubble of heterosexual news.
Heterosexual.
So, because there have been so many posts about, you know, if you're an ally and you're not standing up and you're not shouting about this, you're not an ally. Like, you know, you love us for our drag shows, you love us for our music and for our culture, whatever. But you have to be here for us when we're in need. And I think part of it's because, you know, obviously some allies are just face value. They don't want to actually put in any work to do anything. They just want to benefit the benefits. Whereas some just straight up don't know, I think. So have a conversation with relatives or friends that are straight that may not know what's going on. Thankfully, most of my friends are queer, so we all know what's going on, but some of my family members are not. And just important to let them know, like, hey, this is a real thing. It's fucked up.
It is.
Pay attention.
We are fortunate to have some pretty great straight friends as well who are...
Name one.
Damn. Do our friends dirty
Wow.
like that?
What
They're
about
here in
Anthony
chat.
and John?
Well, I've had sex dreams about them. They're not straight.
Interesting.
Not in my dreams, at least.
Not in your dreams.
Pasta straight until you
yeah.
get it wet.
What was that?
Pasta is straight until you get it
Oh,
wet.
I've heard. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, speaking of drag, I also was arguing with people online because our last podcast episode, actually, I named
Oh, that's
the
right.
title of the
Oh, yeah.
episode. I named kind of a provocative title, about the drag bans.
Yeah.
And actually, in speaking to a lot of these people, I kind of got an idea of why they want to ban it. I think it's because they're conflating drag with like strippers, or like they think it's very similar to being like in a strip club and being at a drag show. And
Well, sometimes that is the case.
no, but I just want to say, like, there's a conflation between the two because drag shows aren't always like that.
Correct.
And because the one thing is that the purpose of going to a strip club is to be turned on, basically.
Yes.
Like if a
Or the
person is
buffet.
or the buffet, but generally speaking, if you're going to watch a strip show, like the point is to be turned on. Like that's why you're going. You're there to get pleasure, in a sexual sense. But if you're going to a drag show, the point is not to be turned on. The point is to be entertained. Like it's a performance. You're there to have fun. The drag queens are there to put a smile on your face, to make you laugh, to do funny
Well,
things.
yeah, but
Like,
stripping is also a performance, to be fair.
yes, but again, like the purpose is different. I feel
Yes.
in terms
Yeah,
of like what they're trying to get the audience, the experience that you're trying to give to the audience.
Yeah, and I
yeah.
think to Matt's point, I think when some communities, especially straight communities, think of drag, they think it is just a sexual, or they tend to think that it's more just blanketed a sexual performance.
I have a no, it's not a different take. Okay, so it was either Peppermint and or Jinx Monsoon. I think it was Peppermint. Was on the news and she said, "It's like the movies. You don't, you know, let your kids see R-rated films. Or you do because you're the parent and you get to decide what is you have the right to decide what your children views. But in general, the problem is not film, the problem is the content of films and if it's appropriate for the people viewing it. So children, yes, may or may not be old enough, mature enough to understand mature films. So you go take them to, Blue's Clues, you take them to Barney, you take them to Mario Brothers. And as an adult, obviously, you can decide then for yourself what kind of content you want to consume. You want to consume R-rated films? You want to consume PG films? However, it is the parent's decision to make their best decision for their child on what to view. So when it comes to drag, there is drag that is inappropriate for children. There just is.
Mm-hmm.
There are drag queens who shove things up their ass and shit them out on stage. Children shouldn't really be watching these things. But it is and most of those times, those are in bars and clubs that do not let people under 21 in. So children are not even at risk of seeing these things. But when a drag queen or drag king is having a performance that is open to everyone, it is up for the parent to decide if the kid is going to be shown it. It's not for the government to decide and overwrite the parents' decision-making skills. So I don't want to say that stripping and drag are very different because there are some drag performances that are stripping. It's an entertainment. It's like a burlesque show. It's the process of taking off clothes for the entertainment of others. You're tipping them. The same things happen. However, you have to have the foresight to know or research what kind of show you're going to and then decide whether or not your kid's going to see it. But like I said, for the most part, those shows, your kid can never see them because it's at a bar or a club that won't let them in. So I think these people may be conflating strip shows with drag shows in entirety, which could be true. But it's really just this sort of like, do people not just like read or think? Like all you have to do is like say, this is a drag show at a bar that only lets 21-year-olds or over in. My kid is never going to be at risk of it. Okay, fine. Don't have to worry about it. Okay, this drag show's having a drag reading at a library. What the fuck do you think the drag queen's going to do at a library? You think they're going to be shitting on the stage? No, they're going to be reading a book.
They're actually going to shit the book out of their ass.
Yeah, like it's... Peppermint said it much more elegantly than I did, and Jinx Monsoon did as well, because they're two very public queens in drag in general. But like... It's like going to the movies. a parent researches the movie beforehand and says, okay, this movie's about superheroes. I can take my kid. This movie is about rape. I'm not going to take my kid to that.
Mm-hmm.
However, like my dad did to me and my sibling, when we were 8 years old, we were seeing R-rated films because he
Mm-hmm.
decided it was his right to decide whether or not we were going to see that content. He took us. Am I scarred? No. Am I like emotionally dead inside? No. Did it scare me? Yes, because some of the movies were horror films and I couldn't sleep afterwards. But
Oh,
that's
I
irrelevant.
saw sex scenes as a kid when my parents took me to R-rated movies. It happens. The sex scenes are in some films that
Yeah.
my parents wanted to see, and I was there.
But
It's just it's control. They just want control over deviant behavior.
it
Yeah.
is the control over deviant behavior, and I think that the way it's been construed, people don't know that it is like the movies, that there are different levels, there are different ranges. I don't think they know, and certain news outlets, if you even want to call it a news outlet,
Name names.
Fox News, looking at you, looking at you, bitch,
Yeah.
will construe it in a way that is very persuasive and criminalizing, and makes it very easy to look at something and see, yeah, you know, you are right. Those drag performances are a threat to kids, but they don't realize that one, they might not even be able to see it, or two, it is like a scale of appropriateness.
Yeah, I think what people and some people within the gay community and the queer community don't even know is that drag is not drag race. Like people watch drag race, they're like, just watch drag race. That's what drag is. Drag can be like drag race, but the art of drag also, especially more, I guess, older drag, was about pushing boundaries. It was about political statements. It was about uh fringe, like on the fringe performances of comedy, of burlesque, of just wild, crazy shit, putting things in orifices and shitting them out on stage. Because if you think about it, drag really originated, or at least part of it originated in these queer spaces that could not be out, that
Mm-hmm.
they were labeled as deviant spaces. So you had these people hiding in clubs or hiding in bars or hiding in, like buildings, putting on performances for each other and doing so in the shadows. And that's just what it was. And it's great. I love it. I wish there was more of a range of drag that I could see, let's say, New York. But a lot of drag in New York has become a little bit ubiquitous. You kind of get the same thing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was the show that Matt and I went to where the woman had the fucking
Yes.
She stripped
fucking
down. She
stripped
showed her
down.
tits.
She had
People in the
a
audience, right?
yeah. Oh God!
But
And
we were
then there
also
was
in a
the
bar. We were in a 21 plus bar.
I know. Then we were in the 21 spot bar. So there's a range. There's just if you're a parent. First of all, if you're not a parent but you're worried about this, get your priorities straight. You don't have no idea what you're talking
Get a
about.
kid. Yeah,
Get a kid. But if you're a parent worried about this, just remember, I'm not taking my child to see Scream 6 because it's too violent. I'm not taking my kid to a drag show at a 21-year-old and over bar because A, they can't get in, and B, because it's probably not for them. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
That I think that's the problem, is that they are taking the most extreme part of drag shows that they are seeing these videos of, like, oh, the ones you might see in the 21 plus.
She's pulling her
They're
cock out.
they're taking that and
That
projecting
happens.
it onto these shows that are supposed to, like, you'll see like the drag queen story hour, or you'll see this like mini drag performance for kids. It will just be a drag queen like dancing in front of children, and they'll be like, oh my god, they're like corrupting the children. But I'm like, really, the point of the performance, if like you're doing a performance in front of children, the point of the performance is to be entertaining.
Yeah,
And to
and-
entertain the kids, to put a smile on their faces, to make them laugh, if that's the performance that you're doing.
Yeah,
You know what's funny?
yeah.
I just thought of a drag queen in front of children, not okay. But a fucking adult person, presuming like a sweaty man in like a dinosaur suit as Barney, or like Chuck E. Cheese, perfectly okay.
Oh yeah,
Perfectly okay.
depends on what you're
Yeah.
dressing as.
Yeah, it's also because like okay, you have Barney and then you have a furry. Like
Yeah,
one is
right,
considered deviant,
yeah.
one is considered wrong, one is considered nasty, and one's considered like a helpful
A-
friend to your kids.
Yes.
And I'm like,
child
well,
icon.
which is it? Which is
Mhm.
it? I don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, like, what about clowns? Like, clowns put on makeup and put on this like very performative
Mhm.
outfit, and there's different types of clowns. But they
Mhm.
always
Yeah.
invite them to kids' birthday parties because they're fun. They're funny. Like,
And there was that film. What's that film with the clown, the murdering
It?
clown? Well, it, yes, but not it. The other one, the more recent one, the Terrifier.
Oh, we haven't heard of that.
Terrifier is about this clown who just murders people, and it's like the most like ridiculous. It's like super gore. It's like the most ridiculous way to
Oh.
kill people.
Uh-huh.
And like then there's the sequel where one of them's just shitting out black diarrhea.
What?
And yeah, it's a lot, but like, see, there are gradations. You have clowns that are happy and fun, and then you have clowns that go
Clowns
around
that
murdering
shit out
people.
people. Yeah, for
incredible.
sure.
Incredible.
Incredible, incredible.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this. I did want to give a shout out to a Nebraska senator, actually,
Mm,
who has currently been in a 3-week filibuster in Nebraska, filibustering the entire legislative floor until they drop a ban on gender affirming care.
there you
Her
go,
name
Mama.
is Senator Michaela Cavanaugh.
Oh, terrible last name though. I'm so sorry, Michaela.
Not Judge Kavanaugh. Senator Michaela Cavanaugh. Good for you,
Yeah.
Nebraska Senator. I very much
Yeah.
appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you for doing what you are doing.
Yeah. We really, it's like Leslie Knope when she was filibustering.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought of.
Yeah, it's the talking filibuster where you just basically sit there and just talk.
Just gotta talk.
Leslie Norp.
Norp.
Leslie Norp.
Norp.
But good for her though. Any
Yeah.
other political things we want to talk about?
Actually, I wanted to touch on one
Touch me.
political, yeah, with consent, yes, political adjacent thing, and then I don't think we finished the banks thing, which I wanted to note that because we were talking about bailouts, and bailouts came about. Theoretically, SVB is not being bailed out because of what happened in 2008. The conversation revolved around the legislations that they put in place at that time were sufficient enough that they did not want to bail out SVB. What they ended up doing, they created new legislation that allows banks to borrow directly from the government. I don't know the finite details of this, but I just wanted to say I really wish that the people responsible for their banking decisions and stuff like that were held accountable. I don't think that'll ever happen. But
Well, yeah.
gee, wouldn't it be nice if we weren't in this
But
position?
gee whiz.
Gee whiz.
Gee willikers. And what they don't tell you either, or what they don't want to tell you, is that apparently during Trump's administration, and of
Yes.
course, again, the same thing with deregulation. Trump deregulated a whole bunch of shit, and then the train derailed, and the bank crashed, and because of all these deregulations. But they're not gonna make you believe that because all this shit's happening during Biden's administration. Because and then they're gonna go on TV and be like, well, the train derailed during Pete Buttigieg's watch. Why didn't he do anything about it? Or the bank crisis failed because Biden was doing all this stuff with inflation. Like, that's the story that they're gonna tell you. And people are going to believe it. So who knows what's going to happen?
Believe it, Naruto.
Believe it.
Believe it.
But speaking of train derailments, I do have an update on the East Palestine trail derailment, if you want to hear it.
Oh, give it.
Yeah.
So Ohio is filing a lawsuit against Railroad Norfolk Sutherland to make sure that it pays for the cleanup and environmental damage caused by the derailment. And this is off of NPR. NPR has been doing great coverage on the East Palestine train derailment. What's interesting to me is that at this point in time, they've been doing environmental monitoring for like a month now. Supposedly, they have not found like levels of contamination in the air, and I think the ground and water that have been, quote, like concerning. Like, so far as the testing goes, I guess on paper it appears okay, which seems so weird to me. I don't
Well, it depends on how the chemical reacts with the environment.
Interesting.
Because certain chemicals are very volatile. Like,
Okay.
not just like volatile as in, yes, they could explode or whatever, but some volatile means they just evaporate or they disperse quickly.
Okay.
So like alcohol or ethanol can be very volatile because if you just leave it open, it will evaporate very quickly.
See you later, bitch.
So I don't know. I'm not a chemist. I hate chemistry. I'm awful at it.
Really?
Especially organic chemistry.
Oh god, not organic chemistry.
So vinyl chloride, which is the substance, I mean, maybe I don't know. It could just have like a really short half-life. It could evaporate or be volatile very quickly and kind of just go away. The thing is, sometimes you don't see the effects of the residual effects of chemicals until later.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're just now understanding the significance of microplastics in our diets and how they can just stay in your body.
They don't
So
go
like,
anywhere.
Yep.
so there's that kind of stuff. So it might be that like they'll like test the area and it's like, oh, I don't see any residuals, but then it's because it conjugated with another chemical in the environment. It got stuck in the soil and everything died.
And
Like
10 years from now, there's like, a
yeah,
fallout.
yeah, two-headed deer running around.
Two-headed
Yep.
deer.
Yep. That's very
Like in
interesting.
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl, bitch.
Chernobyl.
So the federal lawsuit is basically seeking to hold Norfolk Sutherland accountable, so that the company can pay for groundwater and soil monitoring in basically the years ahead, and to also cover economic losses to the people of East Palestine, especially in regards to the devaluation. Sure.
Sure.
Of property value from this event.
Oh yeah, because I'm assuming no one's gonna want to buy in this town
Who the
anymore.
fuck would want to live there? I mean, no offense, East Palestine. I'm so sorry, but girl, I'm not gonna move there.
It's
not Maine.
It's not Maine.
I just want to say goodbye to the engineer who said see y'all later.
Goodbye, my love.
And I don't know if we ever called that up, but goodbye, Anthony. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you.
Thank you. We appreciate you, King.
All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah, I got something to talk about.
Okay. Is this in
Okay.
What's New with the Gays, or is this just something else to talk
I mean,
about?
this is somewhat queer, so we could talk about it now.
Okay, go for it.
The Oscars. Everything Everywhere All at Once swept, right?
Yes.
Now, Everything Ever All at Once is also a queer narrative with the daughter. I think that kind of gets lost in the conversation a lot, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
And, excuse me, The Whale with Brendan Fraser, he won Best Actor. That's the film about a gay man.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see that, queer films are being nominated and winning. Of course, there are problems with both in terms of some people think Everything Everywhere is not a queer film because the queer plot is such a minor part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And some people think The Whale is a very poor look at a gay man's life and maybe isn't the best for queer culture or queer
Did
media.
you see The Whale?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I read Guy Branum's response to it. I listened to a few podcasts about from queer perspectives about it. And I most recently listened to Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers' podcast, Last Culture Recess, and they both said they're not seeing it. They don't want to see it.
Okay.
And I was like, well, interesting. So, but it's good to see that, that stuff is happening. The one thing I want to talk about though is Jamie Lee Curtis winning the Best Supporting Actress nomination.
I saw so much controversy about this online, and honestly, I don't even know what to think about it because I was seeing so many takes all over the place. But yeah, tell me what you think.
Well, don't worry.
What do the gays think? So tell me what
my
you think.
take is the only one that matters.
Oh, that's not true. But
Damn.
Out of that movie, let's just say Everything Everywhere All at Once, when I watched it, I did not think Jamie Lee Curtis would have been the actress nominated. I thought obviously Stephanie Hsu, because I think Stephanie Hsu does more in that film, has a larger impact on the film, and is acting all of her pussies off. Every dimension of pussy that she has, and in some dimensions she might not have one. All of them, she works them out. Mm-hmm. So already I'm like, I really wanted Stephanie Hsu to win. Do I think she was going to? Absolutely not. It's her first time being nominated. Mm-hmm. You have legacy actresses like Jamie Lee Curtis and Angela Bassett in there. So already she's counted out. Now, people were upset, about that. They're also upset about how Angela Bassett didn't win and Jamie Lee Curtis did win. Now, my opinion, I saw both those films. Angela Bassett does a great job in Wakanda Forever.
So good.
Yeah.
However, comparatively, Jamie Lee Curtis has so much more in Everything Everywhere than Angela Bassett does in Wakanda Forever. And the range I think that Jamie Lee Curtis does in that film is a little bit bigger than the range that Angela Bassett did in Wakanda Forever. Okay. So I think that it's fine that Jamie Lee Curtis did beat her for the Oscar, although there was a zoom in on Angela Bassett's face when it wasn't her, and she did not look pleased, for sure. And then the last part is people think that this is just like a what is it, like courtesy Oscar, like a legacy Oscar. Like Jamie Lee Curtis has been in the industry for so long, she's really put in the work. Just give her the Oscar because this is a good role for her. She's nominated. She's just gonna get it. That's true. I think that's exactly what happened.
That was my take on it as well. That's why I thought they gave her
But
it.
don't be mad at Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right.
Oh,
Don't
be
blame
mad at her. Yeah.
for Stephanie Hsu and Angela Bassett not getting the Oscar. Like, that's not what happened. It's not like Jamie Lee Curtis was like, "You're giving it to me."
Yeah.
Or
Give it
no,
to me.
or
Bribery.
no, it's not. Like, she was giving it, yeah. Probably because she had been in the industry for so long. She had a good role. She was nominated. She got it. It's not her fault, though. It's the Oscars' fault. If you want to blame that, blame them. But she, I think, does deserve some recognition for. And yeah, she openly admits she's a nepo baby. She's more of like a genre actress. She, she's played in a lot of the same genre of film. She plays sometimes kooky characters. This is a kooky character. She does it very well. I'm totally fine with it. I think she did. I remember the scene. It's near the end of the film. Michelle Yeoh leaves. They're in a slightly alternate dimension where they still work at the laundromat. They're hosting like I think a New Year's party or something. Michelle Yeoh starts like breaking shit, and the cops come, and then she walks outside. She sits down next to Jamie Lee Curtis's character, and Jamie Lee Curtis's character opens up about her life, about her ex-husband, and I think it also flashes back and forth with the other universe when they're together. The hot dog fingers. And you get this whole other side of Jamie Lee Curtis. For most of the film, you see her as this crazy, maniacal character who's in love with Joe Buttapaki, who's like worships them. But then you see this other version of her, which expresses so much more range of regret and sadness. And yeah, Stephanie Hsu did so much more in that film, I think. But if you look at her performance, it's still a great performance. It's great. Let her have it. You had A24 became, in one night, the most nominated like production company ever to nominate and win at the Oscars.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They won every single like main, they're calling above the line awards. So they won best film, best directing, best actor because The Whale is an A24 film, best actress, supporting actor, and supporting actress. They won all of those. So like it's a huge year for them. It's a huge year for Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's a huge year for Asian representation with Ke Huy Quan and Michelle Yeoh winning. It's enormous. So I was like, what? And then people were like, well, it's not surprising that it won. I wish there was more surprises. It is surprising. Everything Everywhere was this small, almost like indie movie that was screened at South by Southwest a year ago and now has become this huge thing. It's not, it won all these awards because it's that good. Like, why are you bummed that it wasn't like an upset? Like, this deserves its accolades. Stop trying to find something to complain about.
Can I be honest?
You can be honest.
I'm going to be honest. And this is from my experience in watching these two movies because I saw both of them. The one that made a bigger impression on me was Angela Bassett. And the reason I think that is because when I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, I didn't see Jamie Lee Curtis's character as like the most impressionable character that was there. Like I maybe it's because I'm queer, but I felt more of a connection with the queer daughter's character. And like the dynamic that was going on between her and her mother. So that's kind of the storyline that I was, I guess, more invested in. Jamie Lee Curtis to me was just like a side character that was there to be funny, which I know you said that this whole thing where they go deeper into her, but that's the way it came off to me. And I think that when I watched Wakanda Forever, that the Queen's death was just, it was so sad. And I think it impacted me a lot more than the role that Jamie Lee Curtis played in Everything Everywhere All at Once. So just in my opinion, I think Angela Bassett should have won. But I understand where you're coming from when you say that it's fine that Jamie Lee Curtis won because she did play really well in her role. She did.
Would you rather have Stephanie Hsu over Angela Bassett?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Okay.
Sorry. I would have had Stephanie Hsu over Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right. But if it was just between Angela and Jamie, you would have picked Angela Bassett.
I think, if it was Angela Bassett and Jamie Lee Curtis, then Angela Bassett, yes.
Yes. Okay. Gotcha.
But Stephanie Hsu, I almost would have wanted to give it to her over both of them, but that's just me.
Oh, 100%. I would have rather had her.
Does Jamie Lee Curtis have any other Oscars?
No, this is her first one.
Ah, see, damn. And I know Angela Bassett. She got her Oscar for Tina Turner
I don't
in
know,
like the
Mama.
70s, whenever. Or I actually don't know when that movie came out. I think she already has an Oscar.
I'm gonna
But
I'm gonna just
yeah,
keep
let's do a
going.
quick Google. I It kind of sucks the nature of these award shows that it does come down to just one winner because honestly, I think all three of them are so deserving of an Oscar for their performances. I agree with Matt. Angela Bassett in Wakanda
She has
Forever.
none.
Oh,
Angela Bassett has none?
She has 2 nominations, but she has none. She has
Shit.
she's got, what does she got? She's got
Golden Globe, Oscar. I don't know how these work.
she's got a, oh
Yeah.
wait. Oh, this is the, yeah, she has a Golden Globe. She's got a Screen Actors Guild Award
Okay.
for that was for the cast. Yeah, that's all she's really got. She's got some NAACP awards as well. Satellite, not satellite,
Mhm.
Critics' Choice, shit like that, but not an Oscar. No.
Oh.
She's been
oh,
nominated twice for What's Love Got to Do with It and
Oh,
Black Panther:
yes.
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. Okay. She was very she was so incredible in that movie. And I love listening to her. I've been so fascinated by the making of Wakanda Forever in the Black Panther franchise in general for its work with Afrofuturism. I think it's just incredible. So
Mhm.
whenever I get the chance to listen to her speak, I want the world for her. So it is disappointing
hmm.
that eh, the nature of these award shows is that not everyone wins, and I really think that she's so deserving.
I think,
Um,
yeah, I mean, she's definitely gonna get one.
I
And
hope.
she will. Like
We
a lot of
hope.
She
times,
will.
I think there's a level of like there's people who analyze these sort of award things deeply and how people get awards and shit like that, and they're like, yeah, she's gonna get one, don't worry. And I was just like, yeah, but
It just it sucks that it wasn't now, and I can understand people's frustrations where I could see social commentary on like there goes a white person taking it away from two people of color type of thing. So
yeah,
I get it. I'm glad for Jamie Lee Curtis. She's an incredible actress, and so is Shu. I forget her last
Stephanie
first.
Shu.
Stephanie Shu
Yeah,
and Angela Bassett.
yeah.
It's so
So
sad. It's so sad, but it's good at the same time. Like I agree. I'm happy for Jamie Lee Curtis, but also sad for the other two actresses who also were very
yeah,
deserving of
like
it.
I just don't understand why people are mad. Like I understand being bummed that the one you want didn't win, but being actively mad at either Jamie Lee Curtis or just mad in general, or like upset that like something else didn't happen. I was like, I know these awards mean something. They probably mean much more to the people involved than to us. So maybe we can just relax and understand
Yeah.
that even these award ceremonies are performative.
Mm-hmm.
Like the actors are acting in films, and even this award ceremony is performative. Sometimes people win for like political reasons, and sometimes they win off of like actual merit. So it just happens.
Yeah, I understand why people want to be mad, but I agree. Don't be mad at Jamie Lee Curtis because she didn't do anything. Like, be mad at the Oscars and like the system that it is built upon and the nature of these award shows. Don't be
Yeah.
mad at Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I agree.
What? We're still in what's new with the gays. Do we have any other gay news to talk about? I do,
What
but
is
Um,
what's new with the gays? Is that personal news? What is that?
it's just anything new with queer people.
Lovely.
queer people, queer media,
Um,
anything gay.
Lucas Gage is probably dating some hot man.
Who is that?
Lucas Gage is an
oh,
actor in The White Lotus and the new season of You, where he gets pissed on.
Oh,
okay.
Water sports. He's
Okay.
very into water sports in that
What's this? Oh,
show.
Lucas Gage.
Yeah,
Thank
he's
you so much.
hot, and he got his ass ate in White Lotus by
Wow.
by that hot older actor, something Murray.
was it explicit?
Oh,
Explicitly ass
I
eaten?
mean, no, like I don't think he actually ate his ass, but you saw his face against his ass.
Right, right, right.
But ooh, both of them.
Yeah, very.
Oh, Matt, you
Yeah.
saw Looking, right?
No, I didn't. I don't think so.
You didn't watch Looking?
No.
Oh my God.
Do I
Okay,
need to?
whatever.
What's looking?
Looking is
Oh,
now an
wait.
old gay HBO show. It's like the L word for gay men, but it wasn't the same. But that was
Yeah,
like people
yeah.
compared it to.
maybe
Yeah,
we
look at
should
that
watch it for
mustache.
Underqueer review.
It's like not the best, but I like it
We
all
should
the same
still
because
review it.
it's I think it's 3 seasons in a movie. I remember,
Oh.
or 2 seasons in a movie.
Oh.
Sheep says, agreed, don't take it out on Jamie Lee Curtis. The Oscars are very political. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't, like, personally, I don't watch these award shows, or, like, I honestly don't see any of them.
I let Pat tell me what happens. a lot
Yeah,
of
same.
times.
Or I let the internet
Yeah.
tell me if anything major happens.
Yeah.
Like Will
I'm
Smith
like the
slapping Chris
pop
Rock, for example.
culture. Oh my god, the way that they joked about it.
Wait, what did they joke about?
So Jimmy Kimmel's doing like his monologue, his bits. He's hosting the Oscars, and it was funny because like after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the
Oh,
Oscars,
we're back to the slap. Okay.
the Oscars took it very seriously and was like, we're not dealing with this. Like we are not supporting this action. Like Will Smith got banned, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, we're taking this seriously. And Jimmy Kimmel kind of made jokes about it, which I guess is his job. But it's like, you took this assault really seriously, and now we're making jokes about it. I was like, are we supposed to really take it seriously? We're supposed to be still upset. I think Jimmy Kimmel's like, let's not have any violence here tonight. But if anyone does slap the host, they will receive the Oscar for Best Actor because that's what he did. He won the Oscar for Best Actor that night
Oh
for his
my
role
God.
in as Venus and Serena Williams' father in The King.
Yes.
Or is it
Yeah.
The King? Whatever the film was called. I don't know what his name was or what the film was called. But
I saw that. Did you see that?
I didn't see it.
He was very good in it.
I'm sure he was, but it's funny that he slapped a man and then went on like a 19-minute speech about, whatever after winning.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth.
So he won the Oscar after the slap?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I didn't even know
He
that.
slapped him. I think it was somewhat early in the evening, and then later in the evening he won and got up and had to make a speech, and he was like frazzled a bit.
Okay, I wanted to talk about something, and I'm gonna put a trigger warning into the episode. And for anyone,
God!
And for anyone who is watching this stream right now, the trigger warning is going to be a suicide trigger warning.
Jesus. Okay.
So if that kind of stuff bothers you, then I would suggest skipping past this part or muting the stream. So here we go. I wanted to talk about this. So a trans woman recently, her name was Eden Knight. She's a Saudi Arabian trans woman. She had quite like an online presence. She was like an activist. She was like, she fought for trans rights. And basically she was effectively kidnapped, forced to detransition by her family, and then she killed herself.
Oh my God.
Okay.
And this has been going around a lot on Twitter, and she posted her suicide note on Twitter, as like one of those like long tweet things.
Yeah.
Posted it. It's like a really long thing, and I read it, and I was like really frazzled reading this, honestly, because in my mind, this is like the culmination of all of the anti-trans rhetoric that has been going on.
Yeah.
And it like Eden is not going to be the only one that this happens to. Like other people are going to be forcibly detransitioned, and then this is going to happen to them as well. So I wanted to bring this up because I think it's important to talk about, because no major news outlets are mentioning this at all. So I think it's important to talk about, which is why I wanted to bring it up.
Where did this happen again?
Saudi Arabia.
So she's Saudi Arabian. I believe she lived here in the United States.
She did.
But then when her family effectively kidnapped her, she was brought back to Saudi Arabia, detransitioned her, and then, she killed herself. But even the process of them getting her back to Saudi Arabia was also really manipulative, because they basically hired these people to pretend to be like these lawyers that were going to help her. So she got close with these like people, but then they effectively like manipulated her and convinced her to go back to Saudi Arabia, where they could do the detransition. So it was very like scary and very wild. And the people were hired by the family. So the family is the one who did this to her. Yes, I am sorry for the triggering topic.
I will. Okay, I'll reference something else to sort of back the argument. Oh, okay. So there was a trans woman speaking in front of one of these states' legislatures about trans bans and things like that, and replacement therapies and shit. And she said, I was born, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, when things like hormone replacement therapy, transitioning, medical transitioning was not available. And she said, by the time that those things were available, I either I was already fully developed as a man, as presenting as a man, and couldn't really benefit from them to a certain extent. So she was saying that when you rob young people the opportunity to transition, uh, either prior to puberty or during puberty, you are making it harder and harder for them to transition later in life.
Yeah.
So you think you are protecting children from harm when you are actually ensuring that they are going to come into harm's way, because later in life, if they can transition, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them. So it's just really important that people understand that the goal of trans activists and hormone replacement therapy and medically transitioning and doctors is not to take your child and do irreparable damage to them on a biological chemical level. It is to basically prep their bodies, or prep and also emotionally and mentally, because they usually take some sort of counseling prior to transitioning, prepping them inside and out for this change that they are going to experience, either the change being willingly changing, transitioning, or having their body sort of unwillingly go through puberty in a direction they don't want it to go, and then having to take steps to sort of ameliorate that. It's really important to understand that by ensuring a trans person's inability to access this care, you are ensuring their pain and suffering. You are not saving them from it.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, Republicans and conservatives like to get hyperbolic about this. No one is taking young people and throwing them into like the midst of hormone replacement therapy and like the removal of organs or the modification of organs at the sprightly young age of 5. These decisions are made with doctors who understand how these processes work, because transitioning has been around for a while now. Chemical, like hormonal transitioning, has been around for a while, so has the surgeries. So it's important. And going back to the drag ban, there are those who transition who don't want to do the chemical or physical aspects of transitioning in terms of surgery. They just want to dress and present as the other gender or a different gender, which is becoming more and more illegal with all these drag bans. So can we just chill out? Because when we don't chill out, we have shit like this happen, where
Yeah.
families from different ideologies take very radical steps to irreparably harm their kids, and you will then see more dead trans kids. Like, that's what these bills will result in. They will result in dead queer people, specifically dead trans people.
And I don't think they care, which I think is the problem.
Yeah.
Like we keep telling them, like, this is eliciting a trans genocide. But we don't mean it like you're literally killing people. We mean they're killing themselves because they can't access the things that would make them happy. Like, it's been proven multiple times that this gender affirming care does reduce the risk of suicide by, I believe it's like 40% or something like that. I believe I was reading it the other day. This stuff has been proven. Like, this stuff is out there. But they don't want to read that. They don't want to, because this is just a gigantic hate campaign. Like, they want to hate something. They want to target their hate and anger at something so that they'll go and vote for Republicans.
Because Republicans know a lot of their more base level ideologies aren't really something that their voters turn out for anymore. They need something that will charge their base, even if the Republicans probably don't even care themselves. Like, these Republican senators, congresspeople probably don't honestly care or think about trans people. They care about other things, like deregulating certain aspects of the government and shit like that. But they're like, well, I can't just campaign on deregulation because no one's going to vote for me. But I do know my base will vote against trans people if I demonize them. So it's the only reason they're doing this. Just remember that you are being basically manipulated to vote for something that you don't even know what you're voting for. You think it's this one thing, it's not about trans people. You're voting for their entire platform besides trans people. It's just they're using this to catalyze you. You stupid motherfuckers.
Isn't politics great?
No! That's why we have a whole segment called
Yep.
Why Does Politics Suck?
That we skipped
Awful.
over. But
No, we
yeah.
didn't.
No, we didn't skip over it. I'm sorry. We were already past it. We were in What's New with the Gays segment. But we're still on politics, kind of, technically.
Yes. Yes, we are, and it's unfortunate.
Because a
That
lot of
is
times
really
talking
unfortunate.
about the gays can be political, which it shouldn't have to be.
Yes.
Okay.
Shouldn't.
No, but they keep making queer existence political.
Yes.
Queer existence is always a political or like death sentence conversation. That's always what it is.
Political, religious death sentence.
That's why
Yeah.
that one guy, I forget his name, Michael Knowles, that guy, recently got up on the stage in front of CPAC or whatever it was, and he was like, yeah, we need to eradicate transgenderism from public
Oh,
life.
him. And then he backtracked. He's like, I wasn't talking about getting rid of trans people. I was just talking about the idea of transgenderism. And I was like, no, that's what that means. Because
That's
when
what
you,
that means.
like this example of this one trans girl, when you rob someone of their transgenderism, which it's not an ism, by the way, when you rob someone of their ability to express themselves as trans or as anything, you rip away this huge component of their life. They get depressed and then they kill themselves.
Oh my god, he's only 32.
I know. You know what's
He's
so
such
funny?
a bigot.
Oh my
He's
God.
such a bigot.
People think that like, oh, it's the old people that are the
It's
conservatives.
not.
It's not. It's these
It's not.
groups of places
Yep.
that churn out your Madison Cawthorns, your
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Twats. Like you churn out these people and then they age into politics, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh my god, it's frightening. It's
It's
frightening.
really scary. Yeah, there's a whole nother like generation of these fucks coming.
Oh yeah, they're
Coming
there.
for our rights.
Hopefully
Mhm.
hopefully there's less of them, because I believe Gen Z is one of the most liberal generations that is up and coming. So hopefully there's less of them.
If we make it
Yeah.
that far. Yeah.
If we make it
yeah,
that
we as
far.
a species make it that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
economy
are
doesn't
also
collapse.
very saddened by all of
Yeah,
this. But yeah, I think it's
fucking-
important to tell Eden's story, and I want to just spread the word about it and make sure that her last words were heard, which was, to keep fighting for trans rights, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Jesus.
So that's all I have to
Rest
say
in
about
power,
that.
Eden.
Dropping the trigger warning now. We're gonna stop talking about it.
I have an uplifting what's new with the gays in terms of media.
Well, thank God.
Go ahead.
What is it?
Well, girl, the final episode of the Owl House season 3
Oh,
comes out on
right.
April 8th. Now, I know both of you have not watched the show yet, which I'm going to force you to, so that we can talk about it on
We can
Underqueer
underqueer review it. Yeah.
Because
You
it
didn't
is
listen to the episode
so
of the podcast,
fantastic.
though, Jackie?
Anyway, it's really, really a fantastic series. It has many characters who are on the LGBTQ spectrum, neurodivergent spectrum. The lead character is a person of color. It's just so well written. It's by Dana Terrace and is on the Disney Channel. The show has had a tumultuous run in terms of support from Disney higher ups, cowards.
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 That's
But
true.
we are so happy to see at least the show is getting to conclude, even though it's kind of rushed. Season 3 is 3 45-minute episodes versus a full.
Oh my God, that sounds like another show I was watching. A League of Their Own?
Oh. Apparently, that is not confirmed. Actually,
It's not
Wait.
not set in stone.
Yeah.
Did that get renewed?
No, so you didn't
I didn't hear.
Oh, you didn't hear about
so
this?
it got renewed for like 3 episodes. But it's not finalized yet. So the creator, one of the Abby Jacobson, the other creator, was like,
the other
if you
guy.
want more episodes, you need to speak up now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I kept tweeting about it. I was tweeting like, A League of Their Own needs a season 2.
Yeah,
like a
exactly.
full fleshed out season 2.
I did not see that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Somehow. So I'll have to go jump on that bandwagon. But Owl House is so fantastic. If you haven't watched it, go watch it before all the spoilers come out for season 3 for this final episode. It covers so many topics so well. Found family is a huge trope in it. It's
Yeah.
got something for everybody, mama. So go ahead.
Mama.
Mom, go see it. It's fantastic. Ugh, I love that show so much.
We'll probably under queer review it at some point. Okay.
I think Owl House is made by the same person or people that did Steven Universe.
I don't think so. Dana Terrace worked on, oh my god, Gravity Falls with Alex Hirsch.
Because I saw a video. Hold on. I know we're getting a little long in the tooth here with this episode, but I do want to make sure I say this correctly.
We're all good. We're all good. Oh, and by the way, I think I got a little bit sidetracked here as well. We were also going to do a Q&A session. So if anyone has any titillating questions for us for the end of this episode, we can answer a couple of listener questions. You can ask us anything. Ask us about the topics we've been talking about. Ask us sexual things we might answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, Pat.
Rebecca Sugar did Steven Universe. Dana Terrace might have worked on Steven Universe.
I was watching a video on TikTok about this. I think I don't remember. They related the two series, but I think they related it in this regard. So basically, Steven Universe was basically, I think, threatened by Cartoon Network after having a same-sex relationship to like course correct, but they said no.
Yes. Yeah.
And Owl House, I think, had gone under something similar, and that's why they're being cut short. They have a same-sex relationship in it, and now they're being kind of given the boot because Disney was like, we don't want this, but they were like, we want this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of themes in the show that are very much not incongruence with the upper Disney management themes. Cowards. I mean, for one thing, you have people of color who are in the main cast, and there's multiple queer relationships through the main cast. And that was before Bob Iger came back as Disney CEO.
Yeah.
Who is considered to be the more progressive leader of Disney. So some people were holding out hope that, a season 4 or like a spin-off series or some kind of other content might be created after this 3rd season. I don't know if that will happen, given what Dana Terrace has said about Disney. It seems like Dana Terrace was cut out from a lot of the decision-making regarding Owl House, especially season 3. They were more just told, hey, you're getting 3 45-minute episodes. They were cut out of so much. So we're not sure what will happen, but it's fantastic creation from the entire Owl House team. And great voice acting. Super good voice acting.
The one woman. Pussy full of flesh.
Yes!
What?
She's such a good voice actor.
There's an actor in it who she does live action work too. She's not just a voice actor.
Yeah.
She has a very, like, her voice though is very
so unique.
You could pick it out of anything.
Wendy Malick.
And she someone took her voice and did something on TikTok with it where she says pussy full of flesh.
It's a whole, she says like a whole string of things. We'll have to send the TikTok through.
Yeah.
Wendy Malick is the voice actor for Eda Clawthorne. She's one of the main characters.
Edith
Eda Clawthorne. Edith?
Eda
I think she was on like Hot in Cleveland, I think. And she was the wife in Emperor's New Groove.
Oh.
Yes.
Pacha's wife.
Yeah. Eat a ass.
Eat ass.
You better eat a ass if you want. I love that.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't love that it's getting cut short, but I do love that it is a Disney show that provided queer representation when so little had been given.
You're goddamn right.
Oh my god.
Disney.
Quickly. Matt brought up, I don't remember how many episodes ago, about this one guy who turned religious.
Oh, yes. Joshua Bassett.
Yeah. Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett. No, Joshua Bassett.
Do the thing.
So Joshua Bassett he's from High School Musical, the series.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. He's ridiculous. That show's ridiculous, I should say. So him and the other character or other actor from that show, what's her name? Rodrigo?
Olivia Rodrigo?
Olivia Rodrigo was like, they were like a thing, and then they like broke up, or they never got together or whatever, and then she had her album, and a lot of the songs might have been around him. Anyway, So he recently, uh came out, I guess, as like super religious. I think he won an award recently, either at like it was like the Teen Choice Awards or something. Like he was on stage and he's like God is like, my God is a personal God and can save you from blah blah blah. And it's just like the strangest turn I've ever seen. And he's apparently queer. He came out as I don't know what, but he came out as queer. Um, I don't know, but I just wanted to put a name to him because I know last time we weren't sure on the name.
Ew.
But that's it.
That's what makes me nervous about him, because like, what if he came out as queer and then his family was like, we're not doing that, we're gonna put you into this like religious like conversion thing, and then he went through that and now he's like all this religious propaganda spewing out of his mouth. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it was the Kids Choice Words or Teen Choice Words he won something, and I was just like, okay.
Yes, he did win at the 2022 Kids Choice Awards. Interesting outfit choice. He's like unbuttoned to the navel almost. I'm like, is this a show for children?
Well, he's
At least he's not dressed in drag.
You know what? That's true. Don't want those kids converting.
We want them converting to religion. Sheeb put a Q&A in the chat. Thank you, Sheeb.
Thank you, Sheeb.
So Sheeb's question is, if you have a type, what is each of your types? And second question, completely unrelated, what are y'all's thoughts, opinions on polyamory?
Ooh.
Who wants to go first?
Oh.
What are our types? Jackie, what's your type besides Roz? Oh,
negative, as we said. Besides Roz. Oh my God, wait. We have to tell the story. Okay. When we were we went to a lesbian bar in New York, and we're in there, we're dancing, wiggling, as Pat would say, and wiggling. I look across part of the dance floor, and there was an extremely attractive person over there, and I was like, oh, I remember them. They were in line ahead of us waiting to get into the club. They were so cute. They were like taller. They had like dark hair that was like undercut, and then it was like pulled back in a ponytail, and I think they were wearing like a floral button down that was open, and there was like, you could see like kind of tattoos peeking out on one arm, and they were just like dancing, and I was just like, oh my God. I kept looking over them,
like, Rise,
so cute. Yes. So then I was like, oh my God, that person's so cute. And Matt's like, who? And I point out the person, and Matt just goes, oh, the one who looks like my partner. And I'm just like, listen, you don't have to read me so hard. Fucking sue me that I find my partner
attractive.
Like,
it wasn't as much of a like physical comparison. It was more of the aura, the vibe that they were giving off, the way they were dressed, like the kind of the hairstyle, the smell.
The smell.
Pussy full of flesh.
Perfume. Yeah.
Anyway, I personally don't know if I have a type.
I don't know if I do either.
Well, I mean, you've both only been with a few people or like one person, right?
Exactly. That's why I don't know if I have a type.
Yeah, like in terms of relationships.
Well, let the whore talk.
Okay, go ahead. Besides Asian people, Pat, what's your type?
Okay, here's the thing.
It's true. It's true.
So I don't have, I mean, I have preferences for sure. I usually like someone who is larger than me, either in height, width, weight, or all three. I don't care. I don't usually go for people who are smaller than me or my size in terms of my stature or my small build. Although I have been with them, it's just not my norm. I like wider faces, like a big block face almost. A really good defined jaw is great. Eyes have to be pretty good, although I don't really care. It's just more of like an added benefit. I like hair, like head hair. Body hair is fine too. I like head hair. I like someone has a full head of hair, but if not, it's fine. I mean, I'm getting old. My hair's thinning. I don't care. Body hair is fine as long as it's maintained. I can't go down on someone who's like the Bermuda Triangle, bush, Australian outback kind of thing.
Right.
I can't. Like you go in and you never come back. In terms of build, like I don't care if they're muscular. I don't care if they're like heavier. I don't really care if they're thinner. That's really not really a big deal for me. Although I do like someone who's larger than me because I like the comfort of
Mm.
the feeling of being crushed and put
Yeah.
pressure on.
Yeah. Choking.
And choked
Yeah.
and
Yeah, some guy was trying to choke me the other day,
Shivering,
and it was not
screaming.
good because he's not good at it. So, yeah, I think that's in general. That's basically it. I think out of if we had to, because Matt brought up Asian men. Honestly, I like all sorts of men, but I probably like white men the least.
that's
So it's
fair. That is very
basically any
fair.
other man in terms of if we had to go on like race or skin pigment. Yeah, it's probably white people are the least attractive to me because I don't know. I guess I just look at myself and I go, "That's an ugly white man." And then I look
Mm.
at the other ones and I was like, "You look like me, so we're both ugly white men."
Yeah.
But no,
Um,
I've been with plenty. I've gotten around the block in terms of relationships and non-relationships.
Only the block.
I've been around the equator with
Mm.
relationships and non-relationships. So I've been with all kinds of men of all shapes and sizes, ages, colors, and creeds, and you know,
Mhm. Yeah.
but
I will say one thing though, and this might be
one thing.
one thing, that I have a preference on. And it's like a weird, it's like an odd preference.
Oh
Like
God.
I don't like a guy to have no body hair, but also
Mm.
not too much body hair, if that makes sense. I like a
No,
good
that's yeah.
solid in between.
I don't
Like,
want to take his clothes off and him look like a baby. Like I don't want
Yes.
that.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, I don't mind a man who has full body hair, but I also would like it if it was just maintained. That's a.
Bermuda Triangle. That's gonna
Bermuda
haunt me.
Triangle.
It's like I have body hair and I just keep it trimmed because it's a preference for me. But like when I'm going down on you, I don't want to have a bunch of loose hairs
You
in my
come
mouth.
out with more of a mustache and yeah, goatee than when you go
Yeah,
down.
like it's up my nose and it tickles it when I'm blowing
Oh
him. I don't
God,
like
yeah.
that. I don't
No.
like
No,
that.
no, no,
But you
no.
know, if do the pubes pick your nose for you though? Get
Mm.
some boogies up in there.
No.
Anyway, what are y'all's thoughts
Well,
and opinions on polyamory?
love it. I love it. I love the
Period.
idea. I mean, it's sort of like I don't think this is not me being this is I'm serious, y'all. Human beings are not meant to, I don't think, live in isolation or in definitive pairings in that regard. I think humans are social creatures, so having more people that you have a deep connection with and are supporting is a benefit, I think, in a lot of ways. So I'm not saying everyone should adopt polyamory. It's not for everyone because there are these societal norms that are ingrained in us on things like jealousy, on things like
Yeah.
ownership, on things like control that I don't think
Mm,
is something we can unlearn very easily,
Especially over women.
especially over
especially
women.
over women.
So I think but I do think it's like it's sort of like the evolution of the Pokemon. It's
Mhm.
like I have so much. I don't want to commodify someone who's polyamorous in this way, but like it's very sort of a level of respect or a level of sort of admiration that they could uh sort of handle those emotions, those common things we all feel like jealousy and like control and wanting to own something and be able to sort of handle those things in a way that they can support more than one healthy relationship, hopefully.
Mhm.
It's very
Is that
admirable. So I'm totally about it. And if I could do it, I would.
that's
I
actually oh, go ahead, Jackie.
no, you please.
I was gonna say that's actually like the point that I want to make though is that I feel for me I feel like being in a relationship with multiple people is more emotionally complex, and I don't have like the emotional capacity for a complexer relationship. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be more complex. I just feel like it's more relationship that you have to maintain.
Yeah.
Like I could barely handle one person.
I mean, sure, yeah.
I
That's
think
fair.
conceptually, I'm open to the idea, but like for me, I'm like I don't know if I can handle it because I can barely handle one person. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Conceptually, I am open to it in terms of my own personal relationship. I think it's can be really healthy to explore other people besides your own partner. I think it could take a lot of pressure off of your partner being like. I think in society, our society especially, we put so much pressure on making our partner like the one and only cornerstone of our life. Like, is so much. It's
Yeah.
like our best friend and our rock and our financial support buddy and like
Yeah.
all,
And our
all
whole.
and our whole. All of these things, all of these
Yes.
pressures onto one person is so much. And our the person who needs to please us, you know, like sexually, romantically, on so many levels. I think it's so complex, it's unfair, it's unsustainable. And I think the more that we can do to illustrate that there are other lifestyles and ways of living and supporting your personal needs is fantastic. And if it works for you, you should explore it. And you should go through the potential discomfort of figuring out if it is right for you and your partner. I think that's super important to be able to explore discomfort together, to find what your boundaries are. And I think also on the note of discussing human beings as social creatures with deep needs for connections, that we can establish so many like great relationships with people, not sexually or romantically. Like there's so many other spectrums of love and relationships, and I think those are so undervalued in our society, partially because of the emphasis that we put on our romantic partners, that they are undervalued, and I think they should be uplifted more and celebrated.
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
agree, and I would just suggest that if anyone has if anyone has like more insight or not insight, if they want more insight into polyamory, Bob the Drag Queen is polyamorous.
Ooh.
Um, he openly discusses it. So if you could find like a clip or interview of him, I'm sure you can just Google it and they'll find something he talks about it. I think he puts it in a very matter of fact and easily understandable way.
Oh, I gotta look that up. I feel like one hesitance I would have with it as well, and this probably comes from my own insecurities. I think I would be afraid if I was in a relationship with multiple people that they would like each other more than they like me.
Yeah, of course, that's what we're gonna
I think
think.
that's
But
yeah, and I think it's a very natural response.
it's about it would be I think the cornerstone of a polyamorous relationship is obviously open dialogue and open
Mm-hmm.
expression of how you feel and
Yeah,
what you want.
absolutely. Yeah.
And that's something that even one-on-one relationships can benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
I and my boyfriend have gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm not fucking around anymore. When I'm upset, I'm gonna let it be known. When I'm happy, I'm gonna let it be known. And when I need something from you, I'm gonna let it be known. I'm hopefully not gonna do it in a way that's repulsive and bitchy, but I'm not going to tiptoe around my own emotions and my own needs. And being open about those things, too, obviously respectfully open, and how you convey those needs is very important how you convey it. But like that's something you could definitely work on even as a one-to-one relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Life is short. You gotta fucking say it or get, there's
Yeah,
just
life is
not enough
short.
time.
Put your dick in something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello. Sheeb says basically it's more work is what Matt is saying. That is kind of what I'm saying though. I'm a lazy
And it is
person.
fair, yeah. Like, I mean, to realize too, like, if you feel like you don't have the bandwidth for that, or your priorities lie elsewhere, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, I mean, some people. I mean, then there's the opposite side of the spectrum. There's asexual people or
Yeah.
aromantic people who want nothing to do with other people
Mhm.
because it's not their zhuzh. So it's just like that, you know.
Yeah, but thank you for the question. A very thought-provoking one, I would say.
Yeah, thank you, Sheeb. That was great.
Okay, so we are 2 hours into this episode, which is the longest episode I think we've ever recorded.
Well, it's 100,
Yeah,
It is 100.
double stuffed like my Oreo.
Oh my goodness. I think we can call the podcast episode here. I think our plan was to go and play Jackbox after this if people were hanging around. But I don't know if there's a lot of people here, so maybe we just play a separate game. But I'll leave it if there's people in chat that could say if they want to play community games. Or we could just play Overwatch. Who knows?
Mystery Heroes.
Son, stop knocking on my door.
Competitive mystery heroes. So I'm going to call the podcast here.
What are you gonna call it?
I'm going to call it What Did the Gays Think? And thanks,
Oh my
everybody.
Nice.
god, I love that.
That's a great title.
Wow.
Thanks, everybody, for 100 episodes. Well, thank us for putting out the 100 episodes. But also thank you for listening and supporting us. It's been a lovely 100 episodes. And
Yeah.
we hope to produce 100 more. for
Amen.
200 hours worth of gay chaos content.
201 because this is like a 2-hour episode, so it'd be like an extra.
Absolutely. Go into the description to find all of our socials. I'm going to put it in the stream as well if you want to go follow us on any of our socials. There they all are. And thank you again, everybody. And Jackie, would you like to plug any of your stuff?
Hell yeah. If you're listening to this podcast, you should also go ahead and follow me on Twitch, where I stream with these two gays pretty much every Tuesday and Thursday. My Twitch is at Jackie_the_bananas. Play Phasmophobia. Matt and I do Danganronpa streams. It's peak chaos. I mean, it's what you have here in the podcast. But go ahead and give me a follow. It's much appreciated. And on Twitter, I'm at King Jaqueen. So go ahead and find me there for probably me just tweeting at Matt and Pat's Twitter account, honestly.
Yeah.
A lot of chaos. It's just chaos, really.
Yep. All of the information for Jackie's stuff will be in the description of the podcast episode. So if you want to go check that out, go ahead and take a click. And yeah, I believe that's it for our 100th podcast episode.
100th time.
Thank you everybody for listening, and goodbye.
Wait, we didn't do our sign out.
We didn't do sign out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am the 100th booty hole, Matt.
Oh, that's right. Jackie wasn't here for that intro part. And oh god, 100th. Okay, I gotta make this good. And I, Lady Cum.
Oh my god, not this again. Not this again. Okay. And I'm Angela Bassett and Stephanie Shu and Jamie Lee Curtis getting an Oscar.
Oh, too bad only one of them did.
Yeah, R.I.P.
They didn't die. Oh, she's dead?
She's dead?
Oh.
I have something to share with you. It's between my legs.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.